When did the body, Josh, start feeling good after the grind of this past season and everything that you've been through the last year and a half?
I'd say probably took a month after, where you wake up in the morning and you don't feel the bruises, you don't feel the aches in the knees and the back, and you get up in the morning and you feel good, and it was that day when you're like, okay, I can get back in the gym, I can start my training again, I can get back into shape and get myself ready to start playing again.
How novel a concept is it for you actually to feel healthy? I'm guessing that through most of the season, from even by the time you get out of training camp, you're already starting to feel it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you feel good up until the first day of training camp, and then, training camp, the first few days are always a little bit of a grind. The intensity is a lot higher than anything you're used to in the summer. And then once you play that first exhibition game, from then till the end of the season, there's always something. There's going to be little bumps, little bruises, little nagging injuries that aren't serious, but you're not feeling 100%, and that's the part of being a hockey player. I mean, that comes with the territory of playing a physical game. You're never 100%, and you learn to deal with that.
How naturally do you manage the pain and just the bumps and the bruises and so on? Is it a fairly natural thing for you? Have you always been able to manage it?
Yeah, I think so. I think I learned at a young age. I was pretty small, going up through bantam and even junior hockey, that I'm going to get hit a lot and it's going to hurt, and that's just a part of it. You learn to deal with it. You can't sit there and complain about it, because that really doesn't do you any good. You always have a choice in everything you do, and you can either sit and worry about how much this hurts, or you can suck it up and play through it. And I found that the less you think about it and the more you just go out there and play, it doesn't really affect you.
We talked back in March about your shot blocking. You were on your way to 250 that led the NHL. Was there an enduring souvenir or a welt or a bruise or one particular shot of the 250 that you stopped last year that still is in your mind, that still is in your memory, no matter how much you try to block it?
There's not just one that comes to mind. There were a few that hurt more than the others. And those always seem to be the ones that you don't even mean to block. You're standing in front of the net, you're battling with your guy, trying to get him out of the crease, let the goalie see it, and out of nowhere you take one on the side of the knee. I do remember one of those in Tampa. I didn't even know the guy had taken a shot. I'd been behind my guy in front of the net, and next thing you know, I dropped to one knee, and everyone was saying, way to block that shot, and I didn't even know the guy had taken the shot. But those ones that surprise you because you're not ready for it, you can't really brace yourself. Those ones usually sting a little more than the ones you can get yourself ready for.
Would you have any guess how many shots, and I have the information, do you have any guess how many shots you would have blocked in your career that the NHL has given you credit for? I'm sure there have been lots that are sort of on the bubble, or somebody doesn't say it's a block shot, some say that it is when it isn't. I mean, have you got any guess what the official number is?
I wouldn't even know where to start.
901. That's for your career. That's not counting playoffs. And if you take a 6-ounce hockey puck, that's 338 pounds of vulcanized rubber that has hit you during the course of your career. Does it seem sometimes that a puck weighs more than 6 ounces when you get drilled by it?
Sometimes. There's a few guys that can really let go of that puck, and I think that's what I'm saying. When you know it's coming, you can kind of brace yourself for it, and it doesn't really sting as much at the time, but then afterwards you realize how much it actually did hurt. There's been a couple by Chara. You try as much as you can to brace yourself for a shot like that, and you're just praying to God that it hits you somewhere with a lot of padding and it doesn't hit you in a soft spot.
You've said you can get welted even underneath the equipment, right? I mean, you can have a welt on the shin if you've been hit in the shin pad.
Yeah, I had one of his shots that actually cut me under my shin pad, like a pressure cut. And it bruised very slightly, but when I took my shin pad off, I was bleeding. It wasn't like a bruise. It actually pierced the skin through a shin pad. That just shows you how hard he can really shoot the puck.
Who's the hardest guy to shoot a puck on this team, on the Montreal Canadiens today? If you're in practice and guys are shooting pucks, who would you not want to be in front of?
Oh, geez, there's a few guys that can really shoot the puck. Pacioretty and Andre Kostitsyn probably have the best snapshots. Those things come at you like a slap shot does. But I guess the one that you wouldn't want to be if he's shooting is probably PK, because I don't think he knows where it's going. It can be coming right at your head, and you don't want to be standing in front of those. Everyone else is relatively close in their shooting, but again, as long as you know somewhat where they're going to shoot it, then it's okay. But guys that have no idea where they're shooting the puck, those ones are a little scary.
Do you ever give any grief to PK about the fact that he may be aiming left and it's going right? Is he sort of like a golfer who sprays it all over the course?
We were partners through most of the year, so I didn't have to worry about it too much in practice. It was the guys on the power play standing in front of the net trying to tip his shots that probably got a little bit more mad than I did.
Last week in this building, you skated out here wearing all of Carey's equipment, and he came out wearing your stuff. When did the light go on that you wanted to be a goalie for practice?
We talked about it the day before, how Carey likes to get out there and shoot some pucks, and he's a pretty good player. I told him if he wanted to, he's more than welcome to wear my gear, and I would toss his on for a skate. To be honest, I thought there'd maybe be 5 or 10 guys out there, so I would just go in net and take a few shots for fun. But it turned out a bunch of the other guys from the other rink came, and we had a full-on practice and a full-on scrimmage, and I wasn't prepared for that. That's something that I'll probably never do again.
How was it? How was it to put on the goaltending equipment? Was it what you expected it to be?
No, that is exhausting, first of all. It's funny because Carey said the same thing about skating, how hard it was. And for me to be in the net, to go down and get back up, took everything I had. But you don't understand how hard it is to be a goalie until you get in there and you try to move side to side with those skates and with those pads and all that equipment to go down, be able to react, get back up, and still make the next save, track your rebounds. These goalies are phenomenal athletes, and I don't think they get enough credit for what they do, because being out there, that was impossible.
Had you ever worn equipment before?
Once a few years ago after practice, me and Carey switched up. But again, that was for 5 or 10 minutes for Carey to shoot some pucks on me. But that's the extent of me putting goalie equipment on.
All right, so you have a new respect for goaltenders then, just based on the physical demands of that position.
Absolutely. And like I said, these goalies are quick. They're fast. And you see some of the saves that they're making. There's a lot of practice that goes into it. But once I went down, I was a fish out of water. There's no way I was getting any second rebound or anything even close to that. So for these guys to do what they do, it was an eye-opener.
Did anything hurt? You're used to being hurt and stung and shocked by the impact of a puck, at least wearing this stuff. Was there anything that you actually felt?
The worst was when you get it in the palm of your hand. You don't catch it in the net of the glove, you catch it in the palm of your hand. That one kind of stung a little bit. I'm not used to catching pucks easily.
It's kind of like a ball player, right?
You.
When you're a kid playing ball and you actually get hit right in the palm of the mitt.
That was the worst one. The rest, like I said, I take shots with my hockey equipment on. To have goalie equipment on and take those pucks was nothing.
Does it seem like forever, Josh, since the 28th of December 2010? That's when you shut it down after 150 games of your Iron Man, going straight games for the ACL rebuild and the meniscus cleanup. Does it seem like forever since you had that done?
It does. It's hard to look back to that day and remember, that wasn't really that long ago. It was less than 2 years, and it seems like forever ago that I had the surgery and that I was going through all that rehab and missing games, and because it feels great. My knee feels great, and I'm moving better than ever, and so it's almost like it never even happened.
Are you sorry you didn't get it done sooner? Now that it turned out as well as it did?
No, because I'll never regret things that happened the way they did. There's a lot of different things that come into play with that. Who knows where I would have been if I got the surgery done my first year pro? Would I have had that opportunity from San Jose to play? Would I have made my mark and been able to stay in the NHL? Would I have lost that opportunity, been stuck in the minors, and then who knows, maybe I don't get traded to Montreal. Maybe I'm not in the position that I'm in today. So I would never change anything that has happened. Obviously, I love the fact that my knee is healthy and 100%, and I don't have to worry about it giving out or having those kind of issues that I went through. But all those things led up to where I am today, and so I don't regret any of the decisions I made.